Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 6. So going into Season 6 of Arrow, the biggest question that most of us would have revolves around the fate of everyone that was on the island at the time of Adrian Chase's suicide, which of course triggered a series of explosions or explosives on Lian. And as I have gone over in previous videos beforehand, I am sure we will see one or more casualties from the explosion, which will have big effects or, everlasting effects on multiple characters moving forward into the new season. One character we know that definitely did not die in the explosion, at least that is of course William Clayton, aka Oliver's son. Due to William being involved in the season 5 conclusion, well really he was like a pretty big part of it if you think about it. Anyway, due to his involvement you would think he would carry over into season 6 as well and be closer to his father, as he now knows 1. Oliver is his dad, and 2, his dad, Oliver, is the Green Arrow. But for this to happen, I think we all know what needs to go down, and that is the death of William's mother, Samantha Clayton. As I did say, we should expect one or more casualties from the explosion, and I feel that even though this may sound pretty heavy, her death will result in more positives than negatives, which I will explain in a second. With Samantha's death, Oliver would have to take William in, and not only because he's William's father and it's the right and responsible thing to do, but also because you would think Oliver would feel the need to protect him from any other threats that are out there. Adrian Chase was able to get to William pretty easily and pretty simply, so imagine if an even bigger threat presented itself and William was elsewhere and pretty damn vulnerable. I'm pretty sure I have mentioned this previously in another video or maybe even a couple of videos before, but if Oliver had to take William in and be his guardian, it would create a pretty interesting dynamic in which Oliver would be mayor of Star City, the lead vigilante or hero of Star City, and also a somewhat new father, trying to get, used to being a new parent. This would definitely fill in a decent amount of time on the show that needs to be filled in, seeing we won't have a season-long flashback story anymore. We will have some flashbacks throughout Season 6, they just won't be like what we have seen from Seasons 1 through to Season 5. So yeah, as I said, we will have quite a decent amount of time to fill in come Season 6, which I do think the William storyline could, do some of that. Now, one thing a lot of people seem to want to, see play out in Season 6 is some development or possibly even the introduction of William into a Connor Hawke type of character, or just simply Connor Hawke himself. Now, I know some people watching are currently typing, Pagey, we already saw Connor Hawke in Legends of Tomorrow Season 1, it was John Diggle Jr. Yeah, that is true, but that timeline was one where John Diggle Jr. was born around like 2020 or something around that. You could tell just by the character. He was much younger than what he would be than the John Diggle that we have now on the show in 2046. Like he'd be, 30 odd years old. So yeah, that's a different John Diggle. So yeah, even though we have technically already seen Connor Hawke in the form of John Diggle Jr. in that episode of Legends of Tomorrow, that version is gone now. That's in like another timeline. Now, I think if we were to get William shifting into like a Connor Hawke type of character, we would need a decent time jump. And I'm not saying the usual like 3 to 6 month like jump that we usually get, but over 6 to 7 years, as William is only around 10 years old. I think that's how old he is, even though the actor looks like he's about 12 to 14 years old. This would allow William to be around maybe 16, 17. They could go a bit further and maybe make him like 18 or 19 years old when he would be, transitioning into that vigilante role like his father. But hold on, Pagey, how would a 6 to 7 year jump work in the Arrowverse? Would Flash and Supergirl have that jump as well? And yeah, that is a good thing to bring up, but the thing is, it wouldn't be a jump in the main storyline, but it would be a jump in another way, which I'll get into now. And that is actually through a rumor that has been built up. And that's not just recently, but, I think it started, building up steam before Season 5 even concluded, because they were talking about how the flashback story was going to end and what they were going to do to fill in time. And that is actually telling a story through flash forwards. Now, we have seen some flash forwards in Arrow Season 4 in particular, when they like flash forwarded to the grave and stuff like that. And then you could also say in the Flash Season 3 when they flash forwarded to Savitar killing Iris. And I guess you could say both of those moments maybe weren't the best use of the flash forward, but it's been used in the Arrowverse before, so yeah. Now in the first half of Arrow Season 6, we should expect some flashbacks of sorts, which gradually reveal to us who survived the Lian explosion and then eventually reveal who actually died. But once they are over, which you would have to think would be by the mid-season finale, which is episode 9, I can't see them stretching that any further. They would have to fill in airtime that was filled in by those flashbacks, and what better way than those rumoured flash forwards. By the way, I do have to stress that these flash forwards are rumoured. I've said it a couple of times, but I need to stress it's rumoured. Don't take it as gospel. These flash forward things are just rumours. If the flashbacks did end with Samantha Clayton being revealed as one of, or just maybe the one, like the only person who died on the island, and William learnt this at the exact same time in, as I said, let's say episode 9, it would flow well into any flash forwards, which would showcase Connor Hawke and his beginnings. Obviously, we don't know how long Arrow is going to run. We don't know if it's going to get its season 7 or if season 6 will be its last. You don't want to beat a horse to death and, keep a show going longer than it should, but you also don't want to end it before it's properly done. So if season 6 was the last season for Arrow and it did showcase these flash forwards to Oliver's successor, obviously that being Connor Hawke or William Clayton, then I do think that would work pretty damn well. I think it would be a good way to end the series, and we don't have to see, Connor Hawke necessarily. We might get like a prologue, or is it epilogue? The one at the end? We might get something like that. Now, I guess you might be wondering, what do I think the likelihood of this happening is? Well, I think William's 100% going to be involved in season 6. They have said the theme, or Stephen Amell has come out and said that the theme is going to be family, so you would think that that does involve William. I do believe Samantha is going to be the one that dies, or one of the people that dies on the island. I just really do not see her surviving that. But in regards to William turning into Connor Hawke, if he was a bit older, like, you do sort of wish that maybe he was 14 or 15. Like, as I said, he is like roughly 10 or 11. So if he was 14 or 15, I think it's a very high chance that he could become Connor Hawke. But in regards to him actually doing it, as I said, they have to do that time jump. He has to be at least 16, 17, maybe even 18 or 19 before they would even, put their feet in the water of like the Connor Hawke story, if you know what I mean. It would be a cool thing to see, like you'd have like the whole Green Arrow family technically done on the show if Connor Hawke was to be brought in, even though you could argue, hey, he was on Legends of Tomorrow, but that wasn't the legit Connor Hawke. But, technically William Clayton wouldn't be, but actually William Clayton is the son of Oliver Queen. Connor Hawke was the son of Oliver Queen as well, so it would make sense, I guess. But I'm sort of like rambling right now, aren't I? I'm sort of just twisting things into a big bunch. But yeah, let me know what you think of all of that in the comments section down below. Would you like to see Connor Hawke come onto the show? Would you like it to be someone else? Or would you, like the flash forward thing and seeing William actually become Connor Hawke? Just let me know what you think of all of that in the comments section down below. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.